The thing we are starting today is quite the same as the previous class. Can you please make a screenshot or take a picture of these things? Tanya, the first is for you, this one.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Okay, Mash, and for you. So you've got the pictures, you've got the question. Think for some minutes, and then we'll start.
In the first picture, we can see a toy shop, and in the second picture, we can see a market, or how to call it.
Yeah, I guess it's a food market.
Yeah, usually people go to a toy shop to buy some toys. Usually these people have children, and they go to the shop to buy some toys for them, or they want to buy a gift for someone, for some small relatives and other children. Usually people go to the market, to the food market, to buy some food. Wow, to buy some vegetables or meat or something like that. Usually markets are cheaper than other shops, and sometimes the качество quality, and usually the sometimes quality is better than in other shops, and sometimes it's worse than in other shops. So they go to buy something cheap.
Okay. Speaking about you, do you go to food markets to buy some food? Do you ever go to?
Well, usually my mom do this.
My mom does.
Does this. And I usually go to a shop, like
to the shop.
A supermarket.
Okay, thank you. Tanya?
Asking questions is quite important in our lives. For example, when you're in a class and you are discussing some new topic with your classmates and teacher, and in case you don't understand something, you'd better ask the questions for you better understand the material you're learning. When you're renovating the flat, asking questions is also important, as well as the way you place wallpapers on the wall may раздражать, may irritate the people with whom you live in. That's why it is important to ask for advice in these cases.
Speaking about you, do you often ask something during the lesson? Or how often do you do that?
I quite often ask the questions when I really need it, but it depends on the place where I am, and it depends on the teacher. For example, some teachers don't really understand what they are talking about, and asking the questions won't be useful for me, for example.
Okay, thank you.
I think that's when you cook with your family or in your kitchen, you may face some not good situations, or maybe situations that may make you angry. Okay. For example, children or other family members may disturb you when you when you are cooking.
When you cook. Again, your favorite mistake. Do not use present continuous here. When you cook, present simple.
When you cook, you must clean up after yourself. You need to cook fast, and you must be a professional cook. Your dishes must be excellent, and other cooks may make you angry. like that.
Okay,
That's all.
that's it. That's all. Then one more time the phrase. Ты должен думать.
You must think.
Why to?
I
You must think
think.
without to. Yeah, after modal verbs we do not use to. Okay, speaking about you, do you like cooking?
Yes, I like cooking very much, but only when I'm alone, and it depends on my mood.
And now what I want you to do, ladies, please go to the chat room. So right now we're gonna work with this wonderful thing. The question is the following. What is the most popular activity nowadays facing coronavirus sitting at home? So mostly, what do you do every day? Cooking. So you spend most of the time cooking?
Not cooking,
No.
probably just, I don't know, either reading or doing some preparation for my exams.
Okay.
Or just sitting in front of the laptop watching different videos.
So that's the thing. So you spend most of the time a day where? On the internet, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
yes, and right now we are facing like the online life. What I want you to do right now, so keep this phrase in mind. Type as many associations with this phrase as you can. So all the things associated with the phrase online lifestyle. Okay, let's finish with this. You send mostly nouns. What about verbs? Verbs are connected with the online lifestyle. Just do not type it. Say.
To
Verbs.
chat.
Chat. What
Fight.
else? What? Fight?
Type.
Type. Okay.
To
What else?
post.
Post.
Connect.
Connect. Right now we're gonna do a listening task which is connected with the online lifestyle. But before listening, as usual, we need to do some preparation task. So look at the screen. You have the words on the left and the definitions on the right. So please match them. Do you see that on the screen? Yeah. So match two parts of the phrases. So ready?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Let's start. Darin, the first word. Read it.
Me?
Update
Darina.
your status.
Update one more time. Your status, right? What does it mean in Russian?
Abonnement status.
Обновить свой статус.
Yes, good. Mash, next.
Be glued to the screen.
Russian version?
Быть приклеенным к экрану.
Yeah, okay, fine.
To pay attention to what someone's saying. Обратить внимание на то, что кто-то говорит.
Very nice.
It's not the end of the world. Это не конец мира. Не конец всего. Не конец света, да.
Stay in touch with everyone. Оставаться...
Взаимодействовать
с другими.
Взаимодействовать, поддерживать
связь.
Next.
Miss out on having fun. Возможно, упустить шанс повеселиться.
Yeah, right. Okay. So now, listen to the text and just a second. The first thing you do, you match the speaker with the phrase. And then we have 1, 2, 3 phrases which are not said. Okay? So, ready?
Yes.
Ready, steady, go.
Speaker 1. I think that even up until just a few years ago, we could never have imagined how our behaviour would change with regards to using mobiles and tablets. I know that I would find it incredibly difficult to live without my mobile. I'm constantly looking at my phone to see if I've got any new messages or updates, and checking my apps to see what's new. I wouldn't say that I post my life online, not like some people I know, but I do like to keep up with what people are up to, friends, family, and even other people I know but maybe haven't seen for years, like old school friends, and check out photos of what they look like now.
Speaker 2.
In a way, I think it's quite funny that we're always worrying about teenagers and young people becoming obsessed with online communication. But if you ask me, we need to worry just as much about adults. At the office where I work, even when we have a break, nobody talks to each other unless they absolutely have to, which is a sorry state of affairs to say the least. Everyone's too busy checking their social networks and sending messages to have time to communicate face to face. People spend their lunchtime glued to their screens or barely glance up from their phones. Even during meetings, people can't resist subtly checking their phone. And what really irritates me is when you're trying to talk to someone and they're more interested in looking at their phone than paying attention to what you're saying, even though you're right in front of them. Phubbing, I think it's called.
Speaker 3.
I was listening to this discussion on the radio the other day talking about online communication, and they were talking about FOMO, or what was it? Fear of missing out, which apparently is a kind of modern-day psychological syndrome which we're affected by because of our obsession with online communication. Basically, they were saying that the reason why people feel that they have to be connected 24/7 and communicate everything they're doing and keep up with everything that other people we know are doing is down to this fear of missing out. We're worried that everyone is having more fun than us or doing something more exciting than us. They also said that because we're spending more time communicating in the online world, we're losing the ability to enjoy the present.
Speaker 4.
My generation is so different to my parents. I mean, they're always telling me that they grew up in a world without mobiles and social networking, and they managed fine. Hard to imagine how they arranged to meet their friends without a phone, but they say they did. Ugh, I had so many arguments with them while I was growing up, until they let me have my first smartphone. But they didn't let me have Snapchat or Instagram or anything like that. It's not the end of the world, they'd say. They just didn't understand that that's the way people my age communicate with each other. Nobody actually talks on the phone anymore. They have no idea how much I missed out on at school being the only one who didn't have Snapchat. Also, at school, we had loads of talks and stuff on how to stay safe online, and most of us knew that anything you post online was going to be there forever.
Speaker 5.
For me, one of the best things about online communication is that you can stay in touch with everyone at the same time, all the time. You know exactly what's going on, when and where, so you never miss out on anything. I love the fact that you can update all your friends on what's going on in your life, and they can respond immediately with a like or a comment. So you feel like you're together with people, even though you might be completely alone, sitting on a bus or at home. I share loads of photos, but I only post up my best edited shots. I hate it when people I know post photos of me not looking my best.
Which of the speakers do you agree with most?
I forgot everything. I don't know. I think that I agree with the speaker who said about speaker 2, who said that it really annoys when people are glued to the screen and they don't не обращают внимания.
Don't pay attention.
Don't pay attention.
They don't pay attention to you, and it's really irritating.
Okay, then what about you?
So do I. I agree with speaker number 2, as well as I really think it is really annoying and irritating when you talk to a person and he doesn't pay any attention to you because of the fact he's just scrolling his social networks and posting different photos, looking at different pictures. not paying attention to you. You want to talk to him and he just doesn't think it is necessary. So when people don't communicate with each other, that's kind of, I don't know, bad.
Kind of bad. Okay. Darin?
I agreed with person number 2, speaker number 2, but not only with speaker 2. I agree with speaker 3. He said that FOMO is only is not a real problem, but it's like помешанность. Как будет помешанность?
Obsession.
Like obsession. Not the big problem, great problem of our nowadays, but
Isn't obsession a problem?
I think that it's not a big problem.
Not a big problem. Is obsession a problem? Obsession to social networks, to the internet, is that a problem?
I think it's a real problem of nowadays. A lot of people who glued to the screen, and I agree with all of the speakers about it. It's such a big problem.
Okay, then any advice to solve it?
Probably people should try to communicate with other people without using their phones, just to switching them off, putting them in the bag, ignoring the messages, and this way probably people would talk more with other people in real life without any obsession.
And now we move to our favorite thing, which is called the speaking activity from your final exam during this year. Okay, let's get it started. So I will count time, okay? You have 1.5 minutes. Oh, sorry, two minutes to speak.
I'm going to give a talk about traveling. A lot of people nowadays really enjoy traveling because they really like visiting different countries, admiring beautiful sceneries and sightseeings, and just visiting different places they've never been before. I guess that the best season for traveling is summer. In summer, the weather is quite suitable for visiting different places. It's not really cold, and you can spend a lot of time outside. To travel, you'd better use such means of transport as a car or a plane. I think that these ways of traveling are quite convenient and fast. I also enjoy traveling on foot because I find this way of traveling quite useful for our health, and this way we can visit the places we really like to visit without any other people to annoy us. I really enjoy traveling, and I've visited so many countries, and I really enjoyed it.
I'm going to give a talk about learning foreign languages. Nowadays, learning foreign languages is very popular. I think that's because people want to communicate with people from other countries and to understand what do they say. I have chosen to do the English exam this year because I think this subject is quite interesting and it's not really difficult for me, so I decided to prepare for it. I prepared a lot. Um, I read a lot of books, learned a lot of new words, and it was not really difficult for me to prepare for this exam. My attitude to learning. I think that learning foreign languages is very useful for every person. You can understand, it's great when you can understand people from other countries speaking different languages. And in the conclusion, I want to say that it's great to learn foreign languages.
В заключение, one more time.
In conclusion.
In conclusion, know that.
Да,
Yeah.
постоянно.
Okay.
I want to give a talk about my school. So, like in another school, I have my school have positive and negative points. For positive points is gear position of my school, and the most positive point is that there are a lot of really good teachers in my school. My timetable is very comfortable, but the most difficult day for me is Tuesday. It's Tuesday because there are 2 maths in my timetable. I really love my school and my school life, but if I can change something, I will change my relations with girls in my class because they are very nervous. They are very difficult because they are very difficult. I really love my school because my school and my school life because it's full of fun and full of love.
Love or love?
Full of love.
Love. Mhm.
Love. That's
That's it.
all.
Okay. 20 seconds left. Дарин, школа имеет позитивные и негативные черты.
My school have positive and
Why
negative.
have? It should be has.
Who has it?
Has.
Потому что it has.
Then, если бы я могла, я бы то-то. What is the type of conditional? Unreal actions in present or future. So the second type is built like past simple in if part, and then would plus infinitive.
If I could change something, I would change my relations with girls in the class. Like
yes, okay. Like this. This is good. Okay. And if we talk about people, can we call them difficult?
No. Relations.
Strange.
Relations are difficult. Я назвала сначала нервные, но потом подумала, я же говорю про отношения.
Yeah, so relations.
Поэтому я сказала, что relations are difficult.
Relations are difficult, or it's difficult to communicate with them. But not the people difficult. Okay.